You know, we tend to think of history as this long, straight line of events, one after the other. But what if I told you that a single day on the calendar could act like a hidden string, tying together brilliant minds across centuries and disciplines in the most unexpected ways? Okay, so check this out. On one hand, you have Gérard Desargues. He was born way back in 1591, a trailblazer in projective geometry. And on the other hand, you have Vera Kublanovskaya, a pioneer in computational algebra, who passed away in 2012. I mean, we're talking about more than 400 years separating them. What on earth could they possibly have in common?
So what is it? What's this incredible, unlikely thread that connects a French geometer from the 1600s to a Soviet computer scientist from our own century? Well, the answer is probably not what you're thinking.
It's a date, February 21st. Desargues was born on that day, and Kublanovskaya died on that day. And believe me, they are not alone. This one day is like a secret crossroads for some of the greatest minds in mathematical history.
So let's start our journey through this incredible date way back in the world of geometry and see how it connects Renaissance France all the way to the Belle Époque.
Just look at the sheer span of time here. It kicks off in 1591 with the birth of Desargues. Then you fast forward to 1764 and the Chinese scholar Ruan Yuan is born. Then you've got the deaths of Pietro Paoli in 1839 and Émile Lemoine in 1912, all on February 21st. And all of them left a huge mark on the world of math and geometry.
Let's dive a little deeper on that last guy, Émile Lemoine. He died on this day in 1912, and he was such a fascinating character. By day, he was a civil engineer in Paris. But he was also this incredibly passionate musician. His amateur orchestra was so good that the famous composer Saint-Saëns actually wrote music for them. And on top of all that, he was a dedicated amateur geometer.
So Lemoine had this really unique obsession. He wanted to figure out how to measure the simplicity of a geometric construction. He boiled it down to these 5 basic moves and then just counted them. He even took on the legendary Apollonius problem, a super tough challenge, and managed to cut the known solution from over 400 steps down to just 199. What a cool and unusual way to look at things.
All right, let's switch gears. We're moving from the elegance of lines and circles to some truly world-shaking ideas in physics. Because February 21st also has deep connections to theories that would completely rewrite our understanding of the universe.
And that brings us to the Irish physicist George FitzGerald, who died on February 21st, 1901. This quote, it tells you everything you need to know about him. He basically said, "I'm not afraid to be wrong. I just throw ideas out there to see what sticks and to get other people thinking." Talk about intellectual courage. And one of those crude notions turned out to be a total game changer.
Here it is, the FitzGerald contraction. Back in 1889, he came up with this wild idea that an object literally, physically, gets shorter as it speeds up and approaches the speed of light. It was a completely radical thought, just thrown out there to try and explain the bizarre results of a famous experiment.
So why does this matter so much? Because that idea, that crude notion as he called it, turned out to be a critical piece of the puzzle for Albert Einstein. It was a major stepping stone to the special theory of relativity. And that theory? Well, it's what makes modern technologies like the GPS in your phone actually work.
But you know, the story of February 21st isn't just about abstract ideas and breakthroughs. It's also deeply, deeply human. It's filled with stories of incredible courage and survival in the face of unimaginable persecution.
Just take a look at this timeline. This is the story of Marcel Reich and Theophila Langness, the parents of a mathematician named Andrew Ranneke. They were trapped in the Warsaw Ghetto during World War II. They got married there, inside the ghetto walls. And then in February of 1943, they managed to escape, saved by a Polish family who risked everything to hide them.
Their survival was nothing short of a miracle, and their son Andrew would go on to become a brilliant and respected mathematician at the University of Edinburgh. He passed away on February 21st, 2018, weaving another profound, heartbreaking, and triumphant story into the fabric of this one day.
And here's another story of the heavy price some had to pay. This shows you the brutal reality for mathematician Ilya Piatetsky-Shapiro, who died on this day in 2009. Before he tried to emigrate from the Soviet Union, he was this honored professor with total academic freedom. But the moment he applied to leave, he was branded a dissident, kicked out of libraries, and put under constant KGB surveillance. It's just devastating.
But amidst all of these big theories and these dramatic histories, February 21st also reveals something else, the wonderfully human, quirky, and unexpected side of these geniuses, the weird paths their lives took, and the hidden talents they had.
You have to hear this story about Clifford Taubies, who was born on February 21st, 1954. He's a brilliant geometric analyst, but after a year of grad school, he decided he hated it and was going to become a forest fire warden instead. He was literally at the end of his driveway at a crossroads. Turn right to drive to Washington State and fight fires, or turn left to go back to Harvard and study physics.
So why did he turn left? His reason was, and I quote, "I can always go off in the woods later." Just like that. A simple, almost funny thought that put him on the path to becoming one of the world's leading mathematicians. It's a great reminder that genius doesn't always have a grand plan.
And how about this incredibly touching detail about Frances Evelyn Cave Brown Cave, born on this day in 1876. She was a gifted teacher, but she had a stammer that affected her everyday speech. But her colleagues all noticed the same amazing thing. The moment she stood in front of a class to teach math, it completely disappeared. Her passion literally gave her a new voice.
So when you put it all together, what does this one random day, February 21st, really show us? It shows us that history is this amazing web, where one day can link totally different times and ideas. It proves that mathematical genius so often goes hand in hand with incredible human resilience, and that the story of math isn't just numbers, it's a story of people and their unexpected passions.
And this thread, it's still being woven right into our present and future. We talked about Andrew Renicky passing away on this day in 2018. Well, this date in 2026 will mark 1 year since the world lost another great mind, the mathematics historian Ion James. The pattern, this strange and beautiful coincidence, it just keeps going.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other hidden connections, these little cosmic coincidences, are stitched into the fabric of our world, just waiting for us to notice them?